Hi, it's Dr. Gilbert here at Oregon Weight and Wellness, and flying solo today. Shouting out to Rachel. Hey, Rachel, and my brother Greg. Hey, Greg. And just wanted to encourage you today, whoever's watching, and you can post a comment here. I'll look for that. Just start where you are. Sometimes we think we have to um, make a 180-degree change from where we are uh, and throw everything out and start fresh, start new. That might work for some people, but the majority of us, most of us, just need to make small little changes. And that's what I did. I think it was about 2014. We were addressing some health issues that had been in our family, crept into our family. And that's when I got really interested in lifestyle medicine or obesity medicine. And I've always been interested in nutrition and thought I kind of was doing eating well and making most meals at home, that sort of thing. Not eating out too much, not drinking soda, blah blah blah. But but then I took a deep dive and learned a lot. It was overwhelming, and so we just started making small changes. For example, instead of eating a breakfast of a cereal or a sugary cereal or a muffin or orange juice, which, as you know, is highly processed and loaded with sugar, we said, well, let's make our breakfast. And it's evolved over time, and we incorporated more eggs. We made pancakes from scratch rather than from we started making them from a box, so we made a small change, but they were protein packed pancakes. So we went from maybe white flour pancakes to more whole wheat flour pancakes. And now we're making them from scratch. It was a short, a small transition, little changes over time. And it didn't feel so overwhelming that way. So we changed up our breakfast in the morning. We made sure we made time for breakfast. A lot of us kind of roll out of bed and roll out the door and really don't take time for breakfast. And our kids are doing that too. Well, we decided in our family that we were going to get up early enough, which means that we had to go to bed early enough, to get up and make breakfast for our kiddos. Now, this might seem overwhelming to you, like how there's just no way, there's not enough time. Um, and it might be that now that summer is coming along, that you might be able to explore some other options, maybe get your kids involved. School's out almost. I think there's a week or two left, maybe. And maybe kids could get involved in the kitchen and start making their own breakfast and have some fun that way. So, but anyway, small little changes and starting where you are and just improving the quality, maybe adding a few vegetables to breakfast. What? Vegetables for breakfast? What? I've never heard of that. Well, you can cut them up and throw them in your egg frittata or your scrambled eggs or your omelet. Nothing fancy. But you could start just putting salsa on your eggs. That's tomato, that's onion, that's pepper, a lot of great stuff. So the next thing, so we changed up our breakfast, and the next thing we did is we packed our lunch. So instead of eating out or going to fast food or actually eating school lunch, we decided that we were going to pack our own lunch. And sometimes we did that the night before, so that took a little bit of thinking. And sometimes it was just on the fly in the morning. So, but but we packed our lunch and we packed our kids' lunch for school. And it wasn't that it was even anything that spectacular or great. Maybe we changed up the bread. a little bit. We make sure it was a whole grain bread, and you really have to read those labels on whole grain breads or on breads in general, because they can look like wheat bread and have all these stamps of approval from this and that and the other thing. But at the end of the day, you have to read those nutrition facts to make sure that it's not super high in carbohydrate, that it has plenty of fiber in it, that it actually says whole grain on there. So we did that, and we changed our meat a little bit. We went from deli meat, which is highly processed, to more of a roasted meat, or we made our own, maybe a meatloaf, and we sliced it and put that on a sandwich, that sort of thing. We incorporated more salmon, from a can, that sort of thing. We always then had some cut vegetables for our kids and a piece of fruit, and then they drank water instead of milk. So just those small changes made a big difference over time. And again, we didn't do it everything at once. And actually, I'm still making changes and figuring things out, tweaking things, finding the best foods for me. And it's kind of fun, very exciting. So then the last thing we did was we made sure that we ate our meals at home and prepared them at home. And not 100% of the time, but the majority of the time, 6 out of 7 nights. And then it turned into, more like 13 out of 14. And then maybe only once a month would we go out for dinner. And that's been a great change. And we would splurge, for example, on a nice piece of tuna or a steak that we wouldn't usually buy. So that would be our splurge. Or we try new recipes, or fix Brussels sprouts a different way, or buy a new kitchen gadget rather than spend money eating out. And that way we knew exactly what the ingredients were. We could choose our oils very carefully, and then prioritize protein and really focus on vegetables. So anyway, it's been a great journey, learning, growing, spending time in the kitchen, trying new recipes, and now our kids love to cook. I love that about this. This has been 7-year process now. And actually, Zeke is cooking tonight. Our son's home from college, and he is preparing what's for dinner. He's making a Thai dish, I believe. We got some Thai basil. There's cilantro in there. There's coconut milk, peppers, must be red and yellow peppers in there, ginger, all kinds of delicious spices. So I'm really looking forward to that. And again, just wanted to encourage you on your journey that it doesn't have to be overwhelming, and you can just start with one meal at a time, improve that quality, get more veggies in there, and it'll make all the difference. All right, until next time, this is Dr. Gilbert at Oregon Weight and Wellness.